Welcome back to another video from Destinations A to Z. We're here today to bring you some breaking news and finally some relief on DEF information. The head of EPA, Zeldin, has made some announcements today that are great news for all of us fellow RVers out there. RVers face enough trip interruptions already. Now there's one less beginning immediately. The EPA is making changes that will affect anyone that drives a diesel-powered pickup, motorhome, or tow vehicle. New guidance for the diesel exhaust fluid DEF system aims to stop trucks from suddenly losing power and going into limp home mode whenever DEF runs low or there's a problem like DEF head failures that have frustrated all of us RVers, yes, farmers and truckers for years ever since it came out back in 2012. That being the case, many modern diesel engines use DEF in the selective catalytic reduction, otherwise known as SCR, to nearly eliminate harmful nitrogen oxide or NOx emissions. Without DEF, most trucks automatically cut power, dropping it into limp home mode, which is usually by 5 miles an hour. That's as fast as you can go on diesels with DEF once it goes into limp home mode, and sometimes leaving drivers stuck far from help. And RVers can be stuck on the side of the road and have to get towed in, which is absolutely horrendous for an RVer. For RVers, that can mean being stranded miles from the nearest destination station or campground. EPA DEF rule changes for the diesel rigs. According to the EPA Administrator Zeldin, he announced the changes, saying the agency has heard from small businesses and everyday drivers who have lost valuable time and money with their diesel-powered equipment failed due to the DEF system rules. It's simply unacceptable that farmers, truckers, construction workers, and RVers have, and like many other small businesses, continue to experience failures of the diesel-powered equipment when they need it most, according to Zeldin. What does this all mean for RVers? Here it is. Heavy-duty pickups, including RV tow rigs, will now be able to run 80 hours or 4,200 miles on low DEF before being limited to, yes, only 45 miles an hour, not 5. Semi-trucks will be given even more leeway, up to 10 hours or 650 miles before receiving a 15% drop, and a full 160 hours or 8,400 miles before dropping down to 25 miles an hour. Under the new guidance, truckers will be urged to update the DEF software not only on new models starting in 2027, but also the existing vehicles. The updates will allow for much longer run times before the truck's power or RV is restricted. That being the case, when you take your RV in for service, be sure to ask your favorite service center if they have the update to take away this limp home mode that drops it down to 5 miles an hour. This is never good for any fellow RVer or trucker alike. This matters for RVers because many modern motorhomes also run on DEF. That includes most Class A diesel pushers built after 2010. Super C rigs based on 2 medium-duty truck chassis, Sprinter-based Class C model. If you have a Cummins, Caterpillar, Ford, Ram, Freightliner, or Mercedes diesel from the last decade, plus chances are that you have a DEF tank. The changes mean that RVers will have more time to get to a store, truck stop, or service center if they run low on DEF or have a DEF head failure. For roads less traveled, RVers, it will be a blessing when traveling to rural areas where DEF can be hard to find or a hard to find place to pull over. Instead of a sudden slowdown down to 5 mile an hour speed cap or ruining a day's drive, it will be updated to be a much bigger cushion. GM's Duramax diesels already give multiple warnings before DEF runs out, starting at 500 miles remaining. But if you do hit empty, it still takes adding about 2 gallons or a half a tank to get it back to normal. With the EPA pushing for software updates, and diesel rigs will offer the same kind of get there before it's too late window. For RVers who count on their diesel to pull heavy fifth wheel, push a big motorhome, or handling mountain passes without drama, these changes can mean the difference between finishing the trip as planned or spending an unexpected night on the side of the road trying to get towed in. This is great news for all RVers, whether you tow or drive a Class A or C that uses diesel DEF. This is also news that's coming from Zeldin. He has informed us and gave hints that DEF might be able to be done away with altogether in the near future. Whenever it was put into place in 2009, he informed everyone that it was never put in place by Congress. It was just put in place by simple bureaucrats sitting around a table during the Obama administration. That's all they were doing, sitting around the table and then come up with these rules and regulations that forced it on the consumers. That being the case, let's hope and pray that that's what actually happens, and then it does away with it altogether. Hope this information has been helpful. Again, this is great news for all of us fellow RVers out there. And as always, guys, we thank you for watching it. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share it out to other fellow RVers. And as always, safe travels, and we'll see you on the road.